Hello YouTube, I'm AP, aka Luke Scalewalker, and I'm here today to give you 3 ways to descend a pentatonic scale. So let's get into it. First of all, the pentatonic scale. What does it look like? Well, I'll show you. And we are doing it at the 12th fret, box 1. To keep this simple, all the patterns today will be at box 1 on the 12th fret, E minor, or should I say E minor pentatonic. And it looks like this. We're going to start. This is all about descending because you're going down. Okay? If I go down, everybody goes down. Starting out, it looks like this. 15th fret on the E string. 12th on the E string. 15th on the B string. 12th on the B string. 14th on the G string. 12th on the G string. We're going to go for the 14th on the D string. The 12th fret on the D string. 14th on the A. 12th on the A. Back up to the 15 on the low E. Down to the 12 on the E. And that's your basic pentatonic scale. E minor pentatonic scale going down. If you want to do it in a different key, you can do it at A minor, which would be at your A position. Same thing. The pattern is the exact same. Same shape. So that is your basic E minor pentatonic. This scale shows up everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, now that you've learned the minor pentatonic scale, let's look at these 3 ways. 3 ways to descend the pentatonic scale. 3 ways that sound cool, man. They sound cool, man. I got a phone call. Hello? I'm making a video.
No, you're going to edit this out.
I'm not. I'm leaving it in.
No, you're not.
Pattern number 1, descending 3s, looks like this. Looks like, you should be listening. Sounds like this. It sounds like this. Don't play with your eyes, guys. Alright, so let's take a look at that slowed down. I'm going to do it slow for you. I'm going to do it slow for you, baby. It's nice. You play 3 notes descending, then you start over on the next note down and repeat. So basically what this is playing 3 notes descending and then starting over 1 note below the first note you played, then the second, then the third, then the fourth in the scale as you descend. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so on and so on. With the first note of each 3 being 1 lower on the scale. Next note down, next note down, next note down, so on. Now you'll find this pattern everywhere. In fact, you're not just bound to the first box. You can do this in any position. You can also use the descending 3s pattern to move down the fretboard as well. You don't have to stay at the first box. We're not doing that today. I'm just giving you the simplified version of it. But if you were to move down, it might look something like this. And that's how you descend the pentatonic scale using all 3s. Using all 3s. Alright, let's take a look at pattern number 2. Pattern number 2, we're going to be doing in 6s. Basically, we did 3s before, now we're doing 6. What does that mean? We're going to be doing 6 notes consecutively down the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then repeating. Now, before I explain this next part, I don't want somebody coming in being like, This guy right here ain't know what he talking about. That's not straight sixes. He's skipping one of the notes. Anyone that fancies themselves alive best take a look away while I kill him. Alright, don't freak out. Yes, I am going to do this a little bit modified. Straight descending sixes would have you doing 6 descending notes starting on every single note going down. Or basically you would do 6 from the first note. Then you would start here and do 6. Then here. But I wanted, since this is kind of an introduction to doing this, I wanted to pick a simplified version. So we're skipping all of the ones that start on the 12th fret. We're just doing it from the 15th. So it's going to be 6 from here. And it's easier because you get to just jump down a whole string now and do it from here. Whole string down, starting on the G string, starting on the D, and then you're out. Any more than that, you'd have to go down. Doesn't matter. Starting, so basically 6 starting on each string. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to move down a whole string and do the same exact thing following the notes in the scale. I'm going to show you what that looks like close. 6 notes descending, starting from the top. Starting 1 string lower, following the notes in the scale. 1 string lower. 1 string lower. Remembering to follow the notes in the scale, so you got to come up to here. Here's what it looks like sped up. Alright, and let's take a look at pattern 3. Alright, this is going to be the most difficult of the patterns. This is descending 5s. And this is where you start to get into a cascading effect of notes cascading downward like water flowing. It sounds like to me. This will take you a lot of time to develop. You'll have to practice with a metronome. So if you find this one difficult, you've got the first 2 that you can start implementing maybe a little bit quicker. And in the meantime, on the back burner, on the back of the stove, you're going to be able to work on this one with a metronome. And I'm going to show it to you now slowly. And it involves a couple of techniques, so pay close attention. You've got to... The picking on this has to be this way. It has to be like this for a reason. So that means don't try to change the upstrokes and the downstrokes or it will not work. Let me show you what it sounds like first. It sounds like this. Okay, so let's get into how to do this here. We're going to start with the 15th fret on the E string with a downstroke. Always starting this pattern with a downstroke. Then we have an upstroke on the 12th fret of the E, a downstroke on the 15th fret of the B, an upstroke on the 12th fret of the B, and ending with a downstroke on the 14th fret of the G. So all together. Now we start exactly the same pattern over again on the next string. So we started that one on the E string. We're starting the next one on the B string. So the second one would also begin with a downstroke. Second pattern. So it's just 5, starting on each string and descending 5 notes. So where the trouble with this pattern is going to come in is with the sequences of up and down strokes. You're going to start with a downstroke on the 15th fret of the E, and you're going to end the first pattern with a downstroke on the 14th fret of the G. So it starts and ends with a downstroke. So let's go ahead and go through the first pattern. And here comes the trouble. Now we've got to start on the second pattern, starting on the B string, but we've got 2 downstrokes back to back. The best thing you can do for this is to try to develop some sort of a little sweep pattern, which is going to look like, it's going to be 2 downstrokes, and it's going to look like this. So So as I told you before, you're starting and ending each phrase with a downstroke. So this is going to be a sweep between just two strings to bridge the gap. This time linking the two with the sweep. And I'll point it out, or I'll do my best to point it out as I play it slow for you. Sweep, 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 sweep. And that's how you do the descending fives with the cascading effect. Now all of these, like I said, we taught them in box 1 for E minor pentatonic. However, what you can do is you can move them around and you can bridge them between, and you can add blues notes in. For instance, the cascade with some blues notes kind of moving between some of the boxes might look something like this. Alright, so that was the 3 ways to descend through the E minor pentatonic scale, or any pentatonic scale. You can move it around, do the other boxes, link them together, practice all 3 ways with a metronome, get them as cleanly and precisely as you can before bringing up the speed. And I will see you doing these 3 patterns. And anyone that ain't want to be killed better learn these patterns good and subscribe to this channel. Because I swear to God, I will come out there and I will find you. And I will make you sit down with a metronome and practice these. So you best do what you're told.